Hello YouTube! Welcome back, Jujubear here, bringing you another Total War battle, online battle, Rome 2. Now, we're playing 3v3. I'm bringing the Galatians. I got a buttload of these Galatian legionnaires and lots of Levy Freemen. I think this was like a large funds battle. And I'm playing against, I'm playing alongside Egypt and Rome. Now this dude, I can't remember his name, but he ended up just hightailing it straight through the enemy formation. I don't know if it was new or if he's just trolling. But we'll see how that turns out. It actually ended up helping us, so I don't know if he meant that or not, but yeah. So I got a couple of these Galatian raiders out on the flank. I got 3 of these mercenary Syrian archers. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Galatian legionnaires. So got enough for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Levy Freemen. Oh, maybe 6. Yeah, 6 Levy Freemen, and a Galatian nobleman as my my general. And I got 2 mercenary Cappadocian Cav as well. So he brings his general out, the Roman player, and he's about to get charged or shot at by this enemy Numidian Cav. So just getting carved up there, point blank. So at this point, the enemy Roman player brings a lot of his Roman infantry up. His auxiliary Numidian Cav, auxiliary Cav and stocky expertise extraordinary. This is a mistake because my units are a light missile Cav, and he's never going to be able to catch me. He's not going to discourage me, certainly not. So I'm just going to keep on, coming in and out, just taking shots where I can. This is good stuff, shooting him in the back. I'm not against that. Now, this auxiliary Cav ends up dropping quite quickly later on in the match, so we'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, his Numidian Cav is going to come under fire from my auxiliary Syrian archers. I figure I have to try and do something about this guy's general just being there, so it looks like he's taken him away, which is a good idea. My Galatian raiders are kind of sparring with his Numidian Cav, but it looks like they're also getting shot at by my Syrian archers as well, so probably not going to end so well for him. I am getting quite enough, oh actually no kills yet. I'm getting quite a bit of hit point damage on these heavily armored Cav units. So what I'm going to do is flank around with my Galatian raiders. So these guys have quite good attack. I think they're throwing 32 damage javelins there. But they've also got quite good melee attack and quite good weapon damage. Melee defense is 56, so armor's only 15. But if you get these guys into enemy skirmishes, they can do quite a good job at carving them up fairly quickly. Now, my other opponent, I'm going to say the only other opponent I have here, is got Egypt. He's brought a couple of these Egyptian slingers, not just a couple, maybe a lot. And he's got 1 Rhodian slinger as well. And he's sending up a couple of these thorax swordsmen to face off with Epirus. He's also got a couple of these thorax spears over there. Looks like it's about 6 in total. 1 thorax swordsman back here and a royal thorax swordsman general. Now the Carthaginian player has brought, looks like a fair number of Cav, companion Cav there. Very expensive. He's got a couple of mercenary Scutari, Carthaginian hoplites. I'm not going to go into full detail. These 3v3 matches are just too big to go into big detail about what players bringing what. So at this point, he's kind of overextended himself a fair bit. So I'm going to see if I can get my Freemen into them and throw some javelins and follow up with these Cappadocian Cav. But he doesn't take the bait. He's going to pull back, which is probably the right decision. My Galatian raiders here. I don't know where the other one is. Oh, here it is. It just wasted his Numidian Cav. So we're getting some engagements across the board. My Syrian archers are just posing a threat to his own mix of Syrian archers and Balearic slingers. So I should be able to win this skirmish engagement. I've got what? Oh no, I've only got 3. So I got 3 skirmishes, and so does he. So it could end up being quite even. I'm going to try and get into his horsemen. I do manage to get a good charge into the auxiliary Cav, so I'm just going to hold them down and support with my own Levy Freemen. So these guys will do quite well in these engagements, as long as they don't get rear charged or anything like that. And all the while I'm getting some pretty good flank shots with my own Galatian raiders there. So he's going to pull out a lot of his units, which is probably a very good idea. he did a fair bit of damage to a lot of my units across the board. But these are very expensive cav units, and they are taking a lot of damage from my units. So the Roman player has pretty much dissipated. He actually had really highly upgraded units, these legionary cohort in particular. So he's got a couple of them floating around. They're still doing damage. It's just holding up a lot of these Carthaginian forces here, so being quite useful in holding up a lot of the enemy. So he's going to charge in with these little gaps in my formation. Good idea with these Triari. I don't know how the Triari are going to go, but I'm able to wrap around with a lot of my units. So a lot of these units have jabs as well, so I may have the potential of shooting him in the back. He's going to do the same thing and get around me with these auxiliary cav, but not before I get a really good jab toss with those Levy Freemen. He's going to charge into my Levy Freeman with this Numidian cav as well, so they're not going to do too well in that engagement. They're going to get crushed. He's charging me. Oh, I got a counter charge with my Levy Freeman, so I managed to catch them. All across the board, I am engaged with his legionaries, and I pop shield wall just to get them a bonus versus infantry. And we are showering this Triari like you would not believe in skirmisher fire. These guys have got amazing armor and amazing health and melee defense, so they're going to hold up for quite a while if they do get into an engagement like that. But it's a bad thing when you see this Galatian Legionnaire facing the wrong way in this shield wall bug, being attacked from two sides. So not in a good place, this Galatian Legionnaire. It looks like it's correcting itself, but you know, it's already down to 120 men, so not going to do too well there. I've got this Galatian Legionnaire sandwiched between two units, but it's okay because he's facing my Levy Freeman over there. I've sent a couple of cav units into this engagement to help out with the Roman, just to do some damage on his cav units while I can. The Epirus player has actually done a really great job in getting around and into our skirmishes. So he's seen a couple of juicy targets over here, thought, why not, I'm going to have a crack. And he's done the right thing, he's scored himself quite a few kills there. Probably going to wreck that Syrian archer there. The Roman player is going to get his Legatus around. Didn't really get a very good charge there. But I'm also getting some good rear charges here with my cav units. Attacking in the rear wherever I can. These raiders, I think, were out of ammo at this point. Oh, no, I'm not. Yeah, so I'm going to shoot these guys in the back, which is exactly what you should be doing with these Galatian raiders. High attack Jav units. I need to try and free up this Galatian Legionnaire because he's being attacked from both sides. And if I don't do something quick, he's gonna shatter. So he's gonna try and bring his Triari into this fight, but not before I get quite a few kills on this legionary cohort from behind. And I've managed to overwhelm this flank, and I'm just collapsing in on him. So the Epirus player is actually doing a fantastic job. He's wiped out one of my Syrian archers already, and he's getting into the next one. There's not a whole lot I can do. I'm gonna try and bring some cav over to support. Maybe a little bit of Freeman, but at this point, I kind of flanked so much with so many units that I don't really have anything in my rear to defend myself. So I didn't do a very good job, I can admit, in terms of defending my rear from the enemy. I would have thought that the enemy player wouldn't have the guts to go around that far to get into my rear, but it looks like he saw the opportunity and took it. So good on him. Turns out my Galatian Legionnaires actually managed to weather the storm from both sides, and they are now going to put some hurt down on this legionary cohort. My Freemen are holding up this Triari. That's a battle that will last for a long time. These Galatian Legionnaires are out of ammo, but they're going to get a pretty good rear charge on these legionary cohorts. So doing quite a bit of damage there. This Galatian Legionnaire is holding up quite a few of these Carthaginian units, including a legionary cohort. We're going to get a good rear charge into his Triari with my Galatian nobleman. Another pretty good unit, half decent spear unit there. We managed to hold down one of his Carthaginian hotbys with my Levy Freeman. They'll do pretty well. I don't know what I'm doing with my Galatian raiders here. Double XP chevrons over there, so doing quite a good job, being being cost effective. So we're just completing the sandwiches. As I said before, these Triari are going to last fucking forever. They got 107 kills, doing really well there. But we are slowly but surely managing to whittle away a lot of these units here with things like this, you know, rear shots and javelins in the back and all that kind of stuff. Man, you got to kill Roman infantry like 2 or 3 times before they actually, you know, shatter and rout. Ridiculous. So I'm getting into his skirmishes with my Galatian riders. We'll have a look to see how my my Egyptian teammate managed to destroy a lot of these Epirus units. He's got a couple of these Aspis companion cav, very strong cavalry left on the field, but they're not going to make a dent in this whole, this big old blob of men. There's a sacred band left here, going to be quite a bit of a threat against these thorax swordsmen. They're going to hold up a long time, but not being shot in the back like that. So good job from my teammate there. We didn't really need to support each other too much. I feel like we were kind of winning our own battles pretty well. The Roman player actually was quite good at holding up this whole Carthaginian force. They probably scored themselves quite a few kills there. I got a lot of units that are left over. Now look at this. Like, what is going on? CA, come on. Triari, 73 men left. They've been attacked in the rear for like half the game, and they're still not wavering. They're down to 71 men, 68 base morale, like 154 kills on that unit, and they took one of my Galatian legionnaires with them. Ah, so strong. Some of this Roman infantry is like OP as fuck. And they're cheap. They're cheap as well, which is the problem. So this Aspen companion cav, 79 men left. He's just destroying skirmishes at this point. And it looks like my teammate's going to just chase him down and destroy him. So good battle all in all there. I'm really liking this Galatian build. I think this was a large funds battle. So I'm guessing I'm probably going to come back and use this build once again. It served me like pretty well in a couple of matches previously, so going to come back to it for sure. So I got these Galatian legionnaires getting quite a few kills. Galatian noblemen doing quite well there, and these Galatian radius doing really well. So double XP chevrons and couple of my units. Cappadocian cavs doing really well in recharging a lot of units, and Levy Freeman just holding up a lot of units as they should. Companion cav not paying for themselves, even though they're getting 178, 138, 32 kills. A lot of them are probably on. Oh no, that's not true. Actually, they were playing against the Roman players, so a lot of those kills would probably be legionary kills. Yeah, this spam, man. Like, what is that? Come on, Vengeance. That's the guy. Did a really great job with this build. Buddy Man, Fluid Druid. These guys, good players. Usually online. Wow, 429 kills there on the Aspis companion cap. Double XP chevrons. Feel like that should be more, but you know. He's got a couple of these Sam Knight warriors, excellent units, and some Etruscan hoplites. So doing a pretty good job there, but just probably wasn't able to hold out again. These legionary cohort that I was fighting against did a really great job, getting lots of kills there. And his skirmishes, very expensive skirmishes, not really getting enough kills to pay for themselves. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys next time on Jujubear. See ya.